Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. We talk to girls like you. I know you girls is probably wondering like what this box is. This is my Vans box, and right now I'm just gonna be filming a pre-period storage for you girls. I was going through some of my comments, and a lot of times girls ask me like for opinions on like what pad do I recommend for beginners and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this video for you girls. Products that I would recommend for when you're first starting your period, I guess. So yeah, let's get started. I think let's just start with the pads and start with everything else after. Sorry if I'm stuttering a lot. So right here, first thing is these are the Always Radiant Teen Pads size 1. These pads are specifically made towards teens, obviously, Radiant Teen. I really recommend Flex Foam pads, Always Flex Foam pads, like when you first start your period. Like they're really flexible for one, and they are pretty like absorbent. Like you would think it's not, but it actually has 2 layers. If you girls don't notice, they actually have 2 layers, and I actually like learned this a while back. Like yeah, so like everything literally goes to the bottom, which helps to keep you like more dry. And also when you first start your period, you don't really need, well, based on what I've heard, you don't really need a heavy pad or like an overnight pad or anything like that, because your period is pretty light. In my opinion, well, not my opinion, but in my case, my period was pretty light, and for the first couple of months of my period, I was literally using regular pads. I used to use the Stay Free regular pads for months until I started getting into like different types of pads, and my period started getting heavier and stuff like that. But I'm literally rambling, so I'm sorry. And then right here, we have the Carefree Breed regular pads. These are pretty good pads, like, and they're really soft. Also, they're really good for people with sensitive skin. So if you have sensitive skin, I really would recommend this. It's really soft as well. Like, it's like a cloud. I really like it. So yeah. And the last of the regular pads that I have right here, these are just the Always regular pad size 1. Everybody knows this pad. Yeah, this is like a OG pad. Like everybody wears this pad at least once in their life, I believe. Yeah, I really recommend these pads. And also, and one thing that I noticed is that it's actually way softer than it used to be. So that's a plus. Like you girls have it really good. Like these pads used to be really terrible. Like it wasn't terrible, but it was pretty rough at one point, I guess. So yeah. So now we're moving on to heavy pads. I just have 2 types of heavy pads. So right here, I just have the Dubai Kotex heavy pad. Oh my god, really? Yeah. Anyways, we just have the Dubai Kotex heavy pads, and I really love the wings for these. And it's a really good pad. These pads, I would really like, if you first start your period and your period is really light, I would recommend these as like an overnight pad. Mind you, these are not the overnight pads, these are just the heavies, but these are so long for being a heavy pad. Yeah, it's really long for a heavy pad. And also the wings is amazing. Like the wings is actually squared, which actually helps it to wrap around your underwear perfectly. So that's a plus as well for these pads. Alright, right here, the last of my heavy pads. Yeah, of course I have in Flexi Foams again. These are a size 2. Right, these are a size 2. Always Infinity Flex Foam. If you have, you're very like, you get irritated really fast, I wouldn't recommend getting the Radiant at all, because Radiant is like a light scent. So I really wouldn't recommend it. Like, yeah. Now we're moving on to like overnights. Right here we have the Dubai Kotex Teen Overnight Protection. Personally, this is my opinion. Personally, if I was to get like, if I was first starting my period, this is a pad that I definitely would have got to wear as a heavy and an overnight pad at once. These are actually shorter than the size 2 Flex Foam pads. And let me show you girls right now. I mean, it's not a big difference. Like, it's not a big difference. But the fact that it is smaller than this pad. Hold on. Make sure I'm like lining it. Alright. Look. Just a little tiny bit, literally almost the same size. Like, it's crazy. So I would recommend either a size 2 pad from Always or the U by Kotex Teen for heavy and overnight. Because the reason why it's so short, because as I said, your period is usually not very heavy when you first start. So yeah, now we have the size 4 ultra thin Always overnight pad. If you do have a heavier flow, I would recommend getting a size 4 pad for overnight. Once again, these is softer than it used to be. A really good pad, and I really recommend it. Right here, these are the last of my ultra thins. Definitely would not need a size 5 pad, but I still included it for anything. This is a size 5 Always Infinity overnight pad. Yeah, I don't think you would need this pad, but I still included it in the storage. I just wanted to have all sizes pads and different like lengths to show you girls, in case you do have like a point where your period is like actually really heavy. Now I'm gonna show you girls some maxi pads as well, because I want to cater for all my girls. Some I like ultra thin, some like maxis. So right here we have the U by Kotex Security Overnight Maxi Pad. I recommend this to anybody. These pads are so soft. It's like literally a cloud. This is the back. This is the back. Sorry, this is the front. This is the back. Yeah, it's really soft, and I really recommend these. If you like maxi pads, these are the pads for you. I promise you, I would never stir you wrong. And right here we have the Always Maxi size 2 without wings. I would recommend getting them with wings. I don't recommend pads without wings, but I personally wanted to try this. I wouldn't wear this to go out anywhere, because I know that I move a lot when I go outside, and I don't want to leak. So the Maxis without wings is pads that I would personally use in my house. And then right here, these are one of my favorites. These pads are so cute. These are the Always size 1 Maxis. These are so cute and tiny, guys. Like, literally, it's really tiny and cute. Now we're gonna move on to liners. So the first liner, I have a long liner, which is the Always Extra Protection extra long liner. These are really good for your last days. Yeah, spotting, last days. I really like these. These are like my favorite pads. I really gotta get these in regulars. I said pad, I'm in liner. I gotta get those in regulars when I get room in my storage. And then right here, these are the U by Kotex. These are the U by Kotex Extra No, not the Extra Protection. That's Always. These are the U by Kotex Light Days Plus. Sorry, I've like totally brained out. Plus liners. Not my favorite liner, but they work. They're good for spotting. They're good for heavy discharge, tampon backup as well. And then right here, these are the Always Radiant Daily Liners. I know before you girls used to hear me say, these are my favorite liners. Like, I love these liners. Now, I've been using them a lot lately. Can I just say, they're not that good. And I wish somebody had told me this. They're not that good. They're not that good. I guess I just used to use them when I had light discharge, but I tried using them with heavy discharge. I tried using them for different occasions, and they're not that good. Not really my favorite anymore. Not at all. But yeah, then we have this. These are my not my all-time favorite, but one of my favorites. These are the U by Kotex Light Days Long. These, I recommend these if your period is like literally light and there's nothing. This is what I recommend. These are literally a mini pad. It's a liner, but it's a mini pad. I use these on my light days, and there's never any problem. I use these on my light days. So I really recommend these for when your period is really light. And then right here, these are the Always Daily Liners. These are absolutely not my favorite, but they work for light discharge and tampon backup. These are the tampons I started using when I first started getting discharge, and they work pretty good, but it's really not my favorite anymore because I knew that there was better products out there now. But now we're moving on to tampons. I personally do not recommend tampons if you're first starting your period. I do believe that you should wait at least a year before you try getting into tampons. Speak to your guardian, mom, parents, whatever. But if you do want to wear it and you do feel like you need it, well then I included some for you girls. So yeah. So the first tampon that I would recommend is a U by Kotex regular liner, because these liners are actually really smaller than usual liners. Let me compare it. This is a light. And then this is a regular. And it's a little bigger. It's almost the same size. Just a little bigger. So yeah, if you know how to use compact, it's pretty easy to use. Let me show you. Didn't really want to open this, but I'll open it just for you girls. You literally just hold it right there, and then you click it until you hear the click. You heard it? And literally that's how you use it. Oh, wow, I didn't mean to do that. I still want to use that. I only got like 5 of these tampons. I still want to use it. Hopefully it's not spoiling. I can still use it. Okay, I'm just going to keep this right there. I'm going to have to use this on my next period because I don't want it to like... I'm going to put it in my storage as soon as I'm finished. I don't want any problems with this. Everybody knows that I'm kind of like a germaphobe. Oh my god, like I literally can't speak. And I don't really like stuff like opening stuff that I'm not using right away. So yeah, I recommend these. The next tampon I recommend is the Tampax Pearl Light tampons. I recommend this as well. Before you go to like any regular tampons, or you could use the Ubiquitex regular because those are like the same size. I recommend getting light tampons first and working your way up. See what like tampons you need. Don't just go jump into like a super. Cause trust me, you don't need a super when you first start your period. You do not need a super. The next tampon that I recommend after like you figured out like what tampons absorbency do you need, I recommend the Tampax Pearl Regular. Personally, when I first started, the first time I tried a tampon, this was the tampon that I used. I actually just got this from my mom's. I gave my mom these a while back. When I first started my channel, I bought these and they were actually scented. It actually smells like the scent is going out. But yeah, they were scented and I don't use scented products. So I just gave her the whole box and she still have them. Because she has like different tampons that she uses as well. So yeah. Yeah, these never stirred me wrong. I actually really love these tampons. I just don't have in my storage because I have a lot of like different brands of tampons and it's just a lot. So yeah. But now we're moving on to just the wipes. These are just the Always Feminine wipes. Nothing really. Or you could use baby wipes as well. But yeah, any to-go wipes, I recommend this. I do not recommend Summer's Eve. Okay, that's for a different topic. Because I don't want to make this video any longer. So I really hope that you girls enjoyed this video. And see you girls in the next video. Bye, girls.